happens now, yeah, God forbid, if your husband gets sick and it can't work?
Then I have to find a new one. I have to find a new...
Hey.
I felt like I hadn't really experienced anything. I didn't really know myself. I didn't really know what I liked, what I didn't like. I just feel like I hadn't really experienced life. So I think at that point, then I was like, okay, I'm about to, like I said, just date on my terms. And like, however I want to move, whatever I want to do, I'm going to do it. And if it's no longer serving me, I'm going to move on.
All right, so what's good, homies? It's your man, Dr. VOA. You know, when women in this society take it upon themselves to date as many men, be with as many men, possibly sleep with as many men as they can, it isn't frowned upon the way it should be, the way it used to be, because this society we live in is no longer adverse to a woman having as many bodies as she can possibly muster and still being labeled as a good catch or even possibly wife material. And one woman who has seemed to do this very well and deal with a bunch of high-profile men consecutively, back-to-back, sometimes simultaneously, sometimes son and father at the same time or consecutively, is Lori Harvey. Now, Lori has the last name Harvey because Steve met her mother, wifed her mother, and adopted Lori and whatever other children her mother had at the same time, and now everybody in the house is a Harvey child. But Steve's other children have a serious issue with her capitalizing off and also bringing fame to the family name, their family name, not her family name, their actual bloodline family name, by popularizing her 304 tactics. But there's one 304 tactic that is absolutely horrendous. And it just goes to show how desperate guys are to be popular off of their dealings with a woman, when before it was a time when a woman's popularity came from dealing with a man. So now even successful men are dating and sleeping with the same women. Social media has reacted to rumors that Lori Harvey makes men sign a $1 million NDA to date her. Now, what that means is that if you date Lori Harvey, you cannot say anything to anyone. It is a non-disclosure agreement, and you must not speak a word. You must not show any pictures. You must not, show any text messages. You must not do anything. And if you do, you will have to pay $1 million. Here's the thing. There probably aren't many men who can afford to pay $1 million that are going to date Lori Harvey anymore. Honestly, a woman with that track record, you have to be fairly desperate to date her, and you have to feel like she is your best option. And in that case, you are not a made man. You are not a very wealthy man, nor a very popular man. So what it does, it prevents those who date her from sharing any photos or text messages exchanged within the time they're dating, and possibly even after. Now, here's what we have to say. If you would date a woman who makes you sign $1 million NDA, then obviously that woman is intent on using you for her own purposes, her own pleasure. The reality is this will get her more suitors, because now the fact that she has to put this out there means that she is dating men who are not very popular, men who are not very famous, men who she does not want to be seen with. If she was dating Diddy, it would be cool. Even Diddy's son, it would be cool. Future, it was cool. Michael B. Jordan, it was cool.
I got 3 boys and 2 girls. I had never had problems disciplining my boys. I got them straight at a young age. But my daughters, I have this rule. I never put my hands on them because I don't want them to think it's okay for a man to put his hands on them. So they kind of take advantage of that, I think, and have me wrapped around their fingers. Yeah. So my question is, do you have any advice as a father of girls yourself on disciplining your daughters?
No. Ain't got nothing for you, player. Sorry about that. I got 4 daughters. I've never hit spanked one of them because I, too, didn't want them to equate a man's love with physical abuse. So I've never hit them. They've taken full advantage of it. I'm completely and totally wrapped around my daughter's fingers. I give them everything they ask me for. I've never turned them down. I bought them everything they've ever wanted. I've traveled. I bought horses, cars, houses. I have ruined my daughters. All 4 of them girls is spoiled.
Now, You see why a guy like Future didn't go the extra mile with her. You see why Diddy didn't go the extra mile with her. You see why Michael B. Jordan is the only one who wanted to go the extra mile with her. And here's the problem.
I think I've sacrificed love for like I put myself on hold. Like I think I put myself, like my self-love, to things that like on hold because of the things that I want to accomplish. It was hard for me to do both. And right now it's like, all right, let's do this one first and then I'll get to me later. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm good. I'm fine. I'm working. I'm grinding. I'm trying to set up these things. I'm trying to take care of the people I care about. I'm trying to take care of the people that I do love. It was hard for me to, like, be able to give myself fully to, like, and be open enough to find love and have love and still feel like I was working as hard as I needed to work. And I haven't found a way to blend the two yet. That's what I'm searching for.
These men are raising women who don't understand accountability because their father never held them accountable. It's to the point now, just because a woman had her father in her life, you got to know how the relationship was. You can't just say, how's your relationship with your dad?
I love my dad. He's a king. He's the best dad in the world. I don't know where I'd be with him. I don't know what I'd do without him.
You're like,
oh, ain't that so sweet? She love her daddy, man. I miss my daddy too.
Nah, bro, you got to take a deeper dive than that. You got to see what kind of relationship they had. What was that relationship built on? Did he discipline her? Did he guide her? Did he make sure she knew the proper way to handle herself in the world? Did he make sure that she wasn't entitled and knew that she had to represent and work for the things that she got? Or did he let her believe that everything she wanted was hers because she deserved it, because she was a princess? I tell you men all the time, you meet a woman, an adult woman, and she has the princess mindset, the princess outlook. Man, ain't nothing you could do with that. You can't overcome the princess outset in a grown woman because the princess mindset, the princess mindset is a little girl mindset. It's a little girl with her dad. So you got to step in and you got to try to fill those shoes. But here's the thing. Her dad is still in her life. The only thing you can do is try to compete financially.
Yeah.
Y'all feel like y'all relationship people?
Yeah.
Me too.
It's like, I'm like you. I grew up with brothers. So I was like, all right, I know how this is going down. And
It's like
I'm going to move
you beat him
accordingly.
to the punch.
Yeah, I'm just going to move accordingly. And also, like, I almost got married very young. And so I think after that, it made me be like, okay, I felt like I hadn't really experienced anything. I didn't really know myself. I didn't really know what I liked, what I didn't like. I just feel like I hadn't really experienced life. So I think at that point, then I was like, okay, I'm about to, like I said, just date on my terms. And like, however I want to move, whatever I want to do, I'm going to do it. And if it's no longer serving me, I'm going to move on.
In other words, let me go out here and be for the streets for a while. So as you see her going through the industry the way she has, it was all intentional. It was all by design. And the only idiot who was serious enough with her to try to wipe her up, besides whoever this guy was that we don't know, who she almost married, was Michael B. Jordan. See, When Steve Harvey says he ruined his daughters, he didn't ruin them by not being there. He didn't ruin them by causing them to struggle. He ruined them by allowing them to do whatever the hell they wanted to do. And when you live your life like that and allow your children to do that, this is what you end up with. You end up with a girl who says, I don't care anything about being a wife. I don't care anything about being with a man. I don't care anything about settling down young. I want to go out here and run the streets for a while. And see, when you're having as much success running the streets as she is, running the streets could take her into her 40s. Then she's going to realize
the options are going to be limited.
You don't? No, I don't have a type. A physical type, I definitely don't have. So a type, but you have a standard. I have standards. No, those are pretty low.
Now what you hear is a woman who's saying, I'm going to do my thing. Whatever the consequences, repercussions are, I'm going to do my thing. Don't try to wife me because I don't want to be your wife. Don't try to settle down with me because I don't want to settle down with you. Don't try to make me your one and only because you ain't going to never be mine. And as we've seen her date a man and his son, we see that there is no level of the streets that she won't go to. She'll go to the toughest street, the roughest street, the street with the biggest potholes. There is no street that's too bad for her to go on. But here's the problem with that. You men have to understand that the majority of women you meet have the propensity to be this same way. Either she's young and she's still for the streets, or she's older and since she can't be for the streets the way she wants to retire from the streets. And now, after she's tired of the streets life, after she's tired of handling her own business, taking care of her own self, doing her own thing, now she wants a beta male self mangina to come along and rescue her. But I tell you men all the time,
don't save her. She don't want to be saved. Don't save her.
Let her save herself. See, the problem is, so many of you men are so happy just to have access to a woman because you ain't never had access to no woman when you was younger, and now you get a little money and all you want to do is throw the money at the woman. Whatever she says she wants for you to be with her, you gonna give her that. And most times it's money.
This is how I met her. I showered her. I fed her. I also bought her a dress from Fashion Nova. I made her fall in love with me, and now I got her forever.
What's going to keep a woman is learning and understanding what does she need. That's so much more than money, but we have reduced her to just being money hungry or she don't want a man.
Hold up, man. We ain't reduced her to nothing. She reduced herself to that. Because if you a trick like that, the woman don't want to be intimate with you for real. She may eventually do it if it's going to mean more money. When you look at a cat like Uzi and JT, hey man, that cat is always crying about the money he got to pay her. But the bottom line is, when you value a woman so much that you allow her to do these things and be whoever she wants to be, and then you turn right around and you wife her up, what's going to happen in that situation? Besides, you're going to find out what you've probably been told throughout your life by older, wiser men who've already gone through these things and have already seen these things. Don't worry about trying to change a woman into your wife. You can't change her into that. She's got to want to be that. And as you hear this young woman say, she doesn't want to be that. Why? Because she's got a dad who will give her anything. Stepdad at that. Steve has admitted that he'll give his daughters anything they ask for. He's bought cars. He's bought homes. He's bought everything, horses. He's bought whatever they want. So why does that woman need a husband when she has a dad who treats her like a daughter wife? See, we talk about the son husband all the time, but we never talk about the daughter wife. This is what is happening. When a man has a daughter wife, he's ruining her for everyone else. And Steve admitted that he knows this.
I'm completely and totally wrapped around my daughter's fingers. I give them everything they ask me for. I've never turned them down. I bought them everything they've ever wanted. I've traveled. I bought horses, cars, houses. I have ruined my daughters. All 4 of them girls is spoiled.